This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jordan Atkins, Dr. DePoe, and your host, Wes
It's that time
Underwood.
again, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Blondie's Woodfire Wheelhouse. And, well, if you're looking for some pizza, this food truck's got it. And it may be a little hot out there right now, but come nighttime, I crave some pizza. I know I do. But go check them out. Located in Webb City, and pay attention to their Facebook page, and you can find out where they are for the day. So, Wes Underwood alongside Dr. J here, Dr. DePoe and Jordan Atkins, and well, now that we've got the wings down and the fried pickles, well, we'll begin in the NFL as news begins to unfold the season as Frank Clark for the Chiefs attends training camp as normal after everything that happened to him with his Uzi, and Watson reports to his Texans. Still wants out, though. Still wants out. And, then you have Aaron Rodgers reporting to camp along with Devontae Adams, those two wanting out as well. And we'll start with Frank Clark. I know you said it last week, Jordan, that you thought he wouldn't play, but do you still agree with that statement now?
Yeah, I mean, it just all depends kind of basically when the court appearance, the next one, and we'll see. But I don't know. I just, long term, I think there will at least be some sort of suspension.
Yeah. Are you surprised he's at camp?
A little bit, actually, but I don't know. You've seen that in the past of guys coming in that have lingering things that they'll come to camp, but then they're going to get suspended the first, 4 to 6 games. So I predict something like that will happen.
And your thoughts on the Frank Clark situation? What do you think?
I would say it's very similar to Antonio Brown a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He missed the first 6 games for his incidents with the law, so I think it'd be very similar. And speaking of DNs, Chandler Jones is wanting to trade from the Cardinals. That'd be a nice little, little third-round pick throw their way to get another DN in our roster.
That'd be fantastic for our defense, which needed some help in the Super Bowl as well. So, and then now we go to Green Bay and Houston, and kind of throw them in here together. I think wherever Rodgers ends up, Adams will follow. No question there. I think they're going to be a package deal, whatever happens. Even if they don't get traded, then the next year, I still think it's going to happen that way. And then, I don't know, what do other teams have to do to acquire these two right now? Because that could be a really high price to pay. And then, not to mention, you see Watson wanting out of Houston, and Houston's needing a combination here. I mean, maybe Watson and Cobb go because Cobb's drawn interest in Green Bay. So do we see a flip-flop there and just get him out of those atmospheres?
Breaking news, Randall Cobb is going back to Green Bay.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's very much a welcome back Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is now going to have Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. So it's like the good old days. They're stuck in Green Bay.
Yeah.
He's going to finish a Packer. He's just being a baby this offseason. He'll stay in Green Bay.
I mean, what's history say? It says that he's going to be disgruntled in Green Bay and probably go play for the Jets and probably go play for the Vikings, just like his mentor, Brett Favre.
Oh.
So who knows? As far as Deshaun Watson, I hear the California Penal League needs a quarterback. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
And we continue in the NFL. Continue with the New York Jets. Speaking of the Jets there, drama continues as their first-round quarterback Zach Wilson doesn't report to camp as he's still unsigned. The Jets seem not too worried about it, but him starting camp late, and I don't know. I kind of see that as a little concerning there. Do you guys agree on that, or do you think he'll be fine?
It's not good luck, for sure, but
Who are the other quarterbacks in New York?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. At
Because
the
Sam
moment,
Darnold's gone.
Yeah.
he is gone.
That's not a good look
It's not good luck.
for the worst offense in football, not having the first round.
It would be pretty dumb of him, though, to not show up.
It would be.
All right. Think he'll be fine once he does, though?
I don't know.
They keep comparing him to Mahomes. It's just Mahomes is almost impossible to comparison to.
Yeah.
It's almost unfair. It's
Hey,
unfair.
Lamar Jackson thinks he's going to the Super Bowl by switching his number to number 1, so,
Does that happen
but-
this year?
He wants it to, but I think it's going to be next year.
Oh boy.
But speaking of that, Lamar Jackson comes down with COVID yesterday, so, And lastly, in the NFL, we talk Larry Fitzgerald, as the coach of the Cardinals, is for him coming back and says the ball's in his court right now. Do we see Fitz in 2021? And if so, with whom? I mean, we kind of want him in Kansas City, sure hands, but he may end up going elsewhere.
I mean, my thought is the only place I see him going outside of Arizona is probably Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's where he's from. So maybe going to the Steelers for like last hurrah. But he might just retire.
I mean, we know.
I can see him retire.
Yeah, we know Fitzgerald and Roethlisberger could be a good combination there. So, just chuck it down the field and you got your hands on the ball somewhere. But next, we wander into the NCAA and talk Big 12. Lots of teams wanting out, and Texas and OU have clearly asked to join the SEC, so they want out. While other teams are left in the air. If it all happens, what's the downfall here? And we'll start with DePoe on this one.
I mean, regional sports. This is the downfall of having regional rivalries. It's a downfall. I mean, the Midwest is going to be just non-existent of sports conferences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you go further north, the Big Ten, which is where Kansas and Iowa State probably should go, is the Big Ten. As far as the rest of the Big 12, I mean, we're looking at if the Pac-12 wants to go that direction, which I doubt. We're looking at Mountain West, the AAC, not the ACC, the AAC, which is Memphis, Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, those teams. So I can see that making a giant conference with the leftovers, not including Kansas because they're going to the Big Ten, but everybody else.
Agree there?
Yeah, I'm going with the doctor on this one because his wealth of knowledge is much more vast than mine on college football.
I'll agree there. And it would be awesome if it works out that way. I see a slim chance that the Big 12 stays and adds some other teams. But as of right now, it's not looking too hot.
Well, I think it's a bad look for the Big 12 because this will be the third iteration of the Big 12 in 7 years.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Yep, and now we talk MLB and continue to trade deadline talk. And lots happening lately is the A's expected to get a decent relief pitcher in Shaflin there. And then the Padres deal off 3 minor league players for Adam Frazier. I think that was a steal there for the Padres. And then the Pirates also trade off right-handed reliever Clay Holmes for 2 prospects. Does anyone else go before 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday? I mean, do you see the Royals buying, selling, staying put here, or making some news for our team here in the Midwest? But do you see other things going on as well?
Yeah. Well, first, before the Royals, I mean, I look the biggest name, Max Scherzer is going somewhere. I think he'll go to either the Dodgers or the Padres, if I had to bet. Other than that, big movements, I don't know. We've already seen a few people, like you mentioned, Adam Frazier move. The Royals, I think they will be pretty conservative this year. Any move they make will be for 22.
Yeah.
But I could see if a few guys still get moved. I think we were visiting earlier about Merrifield. It makes sense if you can get a haul for them. It's worth moving them, taking my heart out of the equation. I think Benintendi could get flipped. I think Carlos Santana could get flipped. And honestly, of any Royal, Danny Duffy, he's going to California. I'm thinking the Giants, or again,
return with Hosmer
one
and
of
the
those.
Padres?
Yeah, that's possible. I look for the Giants. I just see them going there.
Okay.
Well, it pains me to say this, but I could see Witt going down I-70 to St. Louis for some young outfield prospects, and even major leaguers that the Cardinals have. They have a lot of good outfielders.
DeJong's been pretty terrible this year.
Bader, I'm a Bader fan.
Yeah.
I like Bader a lot. I know they probably won't trade Bader. But
I would gladly take some.
I'd take care
Get
of
back.
He had a good night on Tuesday.
Yeah. So I would definitely look that direction as well. But I do think Max Scherzer is the
big
prize.
one.
He's the prize.
And I think he's going.
I agree. I think he's going to go, and I think if Max Scherzer goes to the Padres or Dodgers, that's going to put one of the other ones in front in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what's going to push him over the edge.
Yep.
I agree.
And then a good guy here, I'm going to throw this out there, Craig Kimbrell. I think the Royals could trade Davis and Holland for him right now. Holland's doing pretty well and just ship them together as a package deal. And then you could sign him long term because
Kimbrel,
he's still got a little bit of time left to go.
He's way better than both of those two combined. I would be all about taking that deal.
I mean, the Royals did get some cash earlier, so they got some money to move.
That's a good point.
I'd rather the Royals be sellers than buyers in this point in time.
I think move some people, enjoy the 5-day Soler hot streak.
And send him on day 6.
Send them on wherever. I really think that's about it on who's going to get moved of the Royals. But I do think they will move a couple people.
And next we'll talk MLB and the Olympics as they have a 6-team format. Group A contains Japan, Mexico, and the Dominican. And Group B contains USA, South Korea, and Israel. Pool play began Wednesday in a double elimination bracket. The U.S. looked okay. Who wins it all right now out of these 6 teams? Who you got here?
I got the Dominican.
Yeah?
They play baseball year-round. I mean, those guys, they're made for this. I think the Dominican won the last, what was the World Baseball Classic? They won?
Yes.
And honestly, if you look at the USA's roster, if you got Bubba Starling,
Adam Frazier
is their superstar.
He's their superstar.
But that's what I'm saying. Truly, it's like
not Japan, not with Tanaka over there. Tanaka's pretty good. And then let's not forget Israel winning. I believe it was a World Baseball Classic too a couple years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Israel came on strong this year and they look pretty good, but should be fun to watch. The whole Olympics have been fun to watch so far.
I will have a complaint though. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of softball, but I thought it was pretty terrible that in the Olympics they made the softball players play on a baseball field, but they just moved everything forward. So it looked terrible. It was awful for the players. Baseball.
Title IX much?
Yeah. All right. So no clear winner here, so we'll just watch and see there. And now it's time for the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Carl Richards, 4th Street Bowl. Go see Will and his crew on Wednesday nights for 90-cent bowling from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we'll talk MLB pitching matchups for Friday this week. And, well, let's see here. We have Drew Smiley of the Braves going up against Taiwan Walker of the Mets. And, who do you guys got here?
Smiley
all the way.
Smiley.
Okay. And then next up, Velazquez of the Phillies going up against Max Scherzer. And that's the only reason it's being a good matchup is Max Scherzer's involved. And the dude's pitching good right now.
Yeah, prediction. Max Scherzer will not make his next start.
No?
He's getting traded.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
okay.
He's not starting.
And then the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole going up against Luis Patino.
Garrett Cole
all the way? Okay.
Stud.
We'll go here and talk Luis Castillo and Alec Mills of the Cubs. Reds going up against the Cubs here, and not great ERAs, but it could be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah.
The Reds pitchers, I think they forget they're playing in actual games and not home runs.
It's true.
So I'm going not the Reds pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go Cubbies.
All right. And then next up we have the Dodgers and the Giants. David Price for the Dodgers, 4-0, going up against Johnny Cueto with a 4.9 ERA right now.
Talk about pulling some old veterans from the trash pile and saying, guys, guess what? You get a start again. I'm going to go David Price. He pitched pretty good last time.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And then next up, we have the Orioles at the Tigers, and Alexander Wells going up against Casey Mize of the Tigers. And Casey Mize has looked pretty good,
he's been pretty good.
Wells has come on strong.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
So you're going Mize there?
Nice.
Okay, all right. And then lastly, we have the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Ryu, 3.4 ERA, going up against Eduardo Rodriguez, who's kind of struggled, but this could be a fun matchup to watch because Rodriguez in his last start didn't give up anything until about the 5th inning. So who you got here, Boston or the Blue Jays? If we even have a game with all the delays up there.
That's true. I'll go Blue Jays there on Ryu.
I think Blue Jays offense is better than the Red Sox offense.
Yeah.
With Springer and company, so I'll go Blue Jays.
All right, and we can go ahead and end with the NBA draft though if we'd like. Let's go ahead.
NBA draft.
Go for it.
All right, NBA draft is on Thursday. It's tomorrow. Kind of exciting for us Thunder fans. We have 6 picks this year in the first 2 rounds.
Thunder up.
Yeah, 6 picks. Pick 6, 16, 18, 32, 34, 58, I believe, something like that. So I'm really hoping that the Thunder can trade up the top 3 because it's a really deep draft, but it's very top heavy as well for superstars. So the big 3 superstars are Cade Cunningham, freshman out of Oklahoma State, Jalen Green, the kid that didn't go to high school or didn't go to college, went to the G League, and then Evan Mobley, the 7-footer from USC, freshman.
Okay.
So if the Thunder can trade up for one of those guys, and then have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, we might make the playoffs next year.
Who do you think's going number 1?
I think Cade Cunningham is the automatic number 1 pick.
Okay.
He's 6'8". He can play point guard. He shoots it really well. He can guard 1 through 5. Really, he's almost like the new wave of positionless basketball.
Okay.
Do it all.
That's impressive.
All
And then Jalen Green is more like a Zach LaVine. He's a jumper, athletic, 6'6". Can shoot okay.
Yeah.
Super athletic. And then Evan Mobley, his comp is more like a Chris Bosh. He's a 7-footer. Can shoot, can dribble, can pass. Do it all. So
It's good. It's good. Any thoughts there on that, Jordan?
Oh, I trust the doctor on his wealth of knowledge with the basketball information.
And I will give you a sleeper to look for. Josh Giddey, player out of Australia. He's a 6'8", kind of like Cade Cunningham. Does it all. Really fun. He played with LaMelo Ball last year in Australia.
Okay,
so
awesome.
He's a kind of sleeper I like in the mid to late lottery of having some impact in the NBA. So I love it. Love NBA draft.
And then now we'll go ahead and finish out with the local sports update. And there aren't any as training camps are continuing and everybody's getting ready for school and conditioning's going on for football season. So, and I believe the Outlaws wrapped up baseball season yesterday as well. So exciting news all around the area for football this season as there's a lot of coach shakeups. That's about the only story there, and we'll see it this year. As a lot of Joplin coaches went down to Neosho, and
Webb City recruited everyone.
Webb City did
There's
go out
never
and
been a head
recruit.
coach
So did Joplin.
anywhere.
Joplin and Webb City both did some out of town recruitment, and it's
genius.
It's looking good for all 3 of these teams. So there's going to be a lot of surprise football coming up.
And I will tell you, there's a lot of excitement in the Neosho about Towdy.
Yeah.
In the football program. So a lot of excitement down south.
All right. And, it's that time again for everyone here on the Sports Timeout podcast. We hope you guys have a safe and warm, not really hot weekend, but it sounds like it's going to be, so I'm just getting your hopes up there a little bit. But thanks for joining us. See you next time.